Hey, Virgo, Mel, intuitive coach here, excited to bring in your October 2025 bonus reading. All right, let's open up your energy field and take a look at the sacred shifts and divine gifts that are unfolding for you this month. Now, Virgo, this session is designed to open a clear channel between you and your spiritual team to reveal what your soul has been trying to say beneath the noise. We'll look at what's blocking your clarity and what's ready to shift so that you can embody your next level of growth. Bottom of the deck, we have here the empath. Now, the empath is number 23 of the major arcana. Now, the author and creator of this deck created bonus major arcanas, with the empath being one of them. And this tells me that your sensitivity may be on overload these days, where you may be feeling everything. And I see that you are being guided to set healthy boundaries for yourself. And some of you may have even become emotionally exhausted, but you are being guided to prioritize your own self, your emotional well-being at this time. As they say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And this is especially important for those of you that are light workers, for those of you that are healers, teachers, guides, because we often take on other people's stuff. We tend to take on the burdens of others, or we carry it on us like a cloak. And I see that you are being guided to nurture your beautiful self at this time. Now, messages from your spiritual helpers. We have Gaia, Mother Gaia, coming through here with Earth connection. You are an Earth sign, Virgo. Be mindful of the planet. Come back to Earth. Stay grounded. Many of you at this time are asked to step into wholeness, to come back to basics in some way, to simplify your life. Maybe even eating more whole foods, getting out in nature, spending time in the great outdoors. Putting your feet in the grass if you're able to do so, going up and hugging or touching a tree. Some of you may be called to work with plant medicine or to work with like mushrooms. I'm also getting travel with the world, connecting to cultures and diversity through travel, through changing up your environment in some way. Now, if you're not able to travel, some of you could be traveling in your mind, maybe even reading a good book. You could be listening to a podcast. Some of you are finding yourself enveloped in some sort of new culture is what I'm getting. Maybe you're trying out, a Mediterranean recipe, or you may be called to explore, shamanism, or tap into the energies around you that are available. Something that you've been curious about is what I'm getting here. I'm also seeing that many of you are helping the planet in some way. You may be doing your share in recycling. Some of you are looking at the chemicals that are in your home. Maybe this is your shampoo, your conditioner, your deodorant. It could be candles or anything that is overly, sensitive at this time, because some of you are picking up on these energies. And I'm getting air quality, which could include mold exposure. So if you have had any mystery symptoms, some of you may be looking at your environment, okay? I see with the world highlighted, there is a new beginning. And I'm just going to see what's down here. Yeah, there it is. There's the Fool. There is a new beginning coming in. And I see that success and accomplishments are part of a graduation, if you will. And you are leaning into a new beginning. In fact, that is a gift that is opening up here for you. Next, you have Master Jesus. Master Jesus brings in forgiveness. Forgiveness does not condone a behavior. It does not mean that what someone did or what they said or how they behaved was okay. But forgiveness liberates. forgiveness through acceptance. You are on the path of light, love, and forgiveness. Father healing is possible at this time. So some of you may be healing the divine masculine within yourself, because we have Mother God here and we have Father God. We have this divine masculine, divine feminine energy that is playing out. And some of you may have even struggled with a father influence in your life, or their lack of. Maybe you had lacked that influence in some way. And I see that you are creating this sense of wholeness, this sense of balance within your life, and maybe even addressing some childhood wounds or patterns that have carried out into your adult life. You may be called to work with Jesus or any of the ascended masters that you have felt curious about, or that have come to you through your dreams, through your visions. Master Jesus is one of them that are here to help you this month. Next, you have Holy Amethyst. She brings in with her divine alchemy. Move beyond current challenges and focus on what it is that you desire. That is coming back to that state of wholeness. This is about you working on forgiving perhaps yourself, Virgo, because some of you are very, very hard on yourself. We can be our worst critics and we can judge ourselves harshly. And I feel like divine alchemy is coming in saying, focus on what you desire, because sometimes the empath can be a people pleaser, a fixer, a person who puts everybody else's needs ahead of their own. And I see that that is something you have been working on, creating a healthy boundary for yourself and focusing on your health, your well-being. So let's dive in and take a look at the voice. What does your higher self want you to know? You have the Six of Wands. Remember what I said about success and accomplishments? There it is. The Six of Wands is saying that your hard work will pay off. And I'm also getting a message of some of you changing your appearance, or your look could be different. Some of you may have even gone through a major weight loss journey, Virgo. You may be cutting your hair, coloring your hair, changing your style, changing your clothes. There could even be a piece of artwork on your body, like a tattoo. It feels like there's a part of you that is shifting internally, and it's being reflected in your outer world. Now, the Six of Wands is also about attention. So you may be getting attention at this time, but I see that the most important recognition that you can give is within, and not needing any sort of external validation. However, it is coming for you though. It is here. So I feel like you are feeling proud of yourself. You're feeling accomplished within your own goals, within something that you have done, that you've set out for yourself, and other people are recognizing it, and they're giving you a pat on the back as well. They may be saying, Virgo, good work, job well done. But it feels like, that is wonderful. It's nice to hear other people congratulate you as well. But there's this sense of pride that you feel for yourself. And there's nothing like that win. And for many of you, this is a magical time of manifestation. The Six of Wands is saying that you are not being left behind. In the past, you may have felt overlooked. Some of you may have even felt bullied at times. Some of you may have shrunk your energy to fit in, okay? Or there's this feeling of not being recognized or not being seen for your beautiful skills and gifts and talents. You may have even shied back parts of yourself, because the empath can have some big feelings. There was a time in my early childhood that I wanted to just be normal. I wanted to just fit in. And I've had these spiritual gifts, as we all do. I was able to tap in at a very early age, but I avoided the gift, right? I kind of suppressed it. I just wanted to be quote unquote normal like everyone else. But as I had matured, as I had grown into loving and embracing the gifts that I have, I am no longer afraid to put them out there because I'm no longer needing that external validation of needing to fit in some way. And that's what I see here for you. And that's what Spirit is reminding you, that you are not born to fit in. You are born to stand out. And that's why the Six of Wands is here. Now, what is the block? What is the blind spot? The Four of Pentacles, the Wicked Witch's possessions. Are some of you hoarders, or do you have a family member who is a hoarder where you hang on to all of the possessions, all of the stuff? This can also be memories. It can be baggage, things that we hang on to that we have a really difficult time letting go of. And sometimes it can overwhelm us, right? It comes in at an energetic level where we feel like we can't focus on anything else besides all of this stuff. Now, if you have this inkling this month to declutter, to clear out the old, to get rid of stuff, to go through your closets, to go through your attic, to get rid of kids' toys, get rid of bikes that haven't been, rode in years, whatever it is that you are going through, this could be mentally. You could be mentally processing a lot, especially through your dreams. For many of you, this is physical. You are kind of dumping out. I'm getting like a dumping ground here where you are releasing, you're letting go. And the Four of Pentacles also tells me that some of you were in this protective mode because you feel a lot. And sometimes when we put up these boundaries, they can become walls, they can become barriers where we don't allow, anything new to enter, but we hoard and keep hold of everything that we have within our control. And I see that that has been a block, and no longer are you letting these energies kind of possess you in some way, because possessions, right, can possess us. And I see with this Four of Pentacles, this is about you releasing scarcity mentality, or releasing the need to feel like you have to hang on to every burden or hang on to everything, because you are being reminded at this time to release what is not yours and to simplify your life, to declutter, to detox in many different forms in the month of October, because that is going to set you up for inviting new energies in and allowing you to expand your consciousness here. Now, what is the mirror? How is this being reflected in your life? It's hard for some of you. Three of Swords. The Three of Swords, though, tells me that you are in the midst of recovery, because I feel like you're going through this unresolved emotional pain that's caused someone to become bitter, caused someone to be closed off, or caused someone to, avoid or be unable to trust. And that's why the Four of Pentacles is showing up as a block, because you are being guided to go through some of these things. And oftentimes we don't want to look at those things because they're heavy, because they hurt, because it could be painful to sort through those memories or those objects or those patterns, whatever it is that is showing up for you. I feel like you are going to do something in your own time, of course. There's no rush here. But if this has been a process where you are finally ready, especially with forgiveness here, and you're ready to come back into this wholeness, now's the time. Because the Three of Swords is saying, yes, there have been painful truths. Some of you have gone through death. You've gone through relationship setbacks or breakups. You've gone through grief and sorrow and depression. You've gone through the worst of things. This is the Woodman's heart. But I have a feeling you are moving on, even though you may still carry a scar or 10, right? But it's a scar, meaning that even if you come up against some sort of emotion, it's not going to break open again, not when it's scarred over, because many of you have been doing the work to heal. And that's what I see here with Holy Amethyst. You are being guided to move beyond these challenges. So what is the shift? What needs to be released here? The old stories, the mental mindset of maybe someone in your life who is very cold, maybe someone who cut you off, someone who's very manipulative, someone who is bossy. This can even be the infringements upon our own mind, right? Our own mind telling us stories that are lies or that no longer need to be a part of this fresh beginning that you're tapping into. Because the Queen of Swords being shifting here for you, she is someone who is assertive, she is direct, she is a clear thinker. And when she focuses her attention here on the life that she wants for herself, there's no stopping her. So I feel like you are not only being mindful, you're staying grounded here within your thoughts, within your emotions, and you are being guided to set yourself up for success, to tell yourself that you are not your past. The past does not have to define you. The pain does not have to define you. If anything, use that as a kicking off point. Use that as a catalyst to become a better version of yourself, to live and lead a better life for yourself. And for many of you, it feels like you've worked through confidence issues. All right, self-confidence, perhaps your confidence has been knocked down due to someone who is very controlling, very manipulative. I'm also getting that some of you may have been in a dynamic with a masculine energy where they were very controlling. I'm getting Emperor in reverse. So it could have been greedy, or may have even had narcissistic tendencies, where as an empath, as a healer, Virgo, you may have really struggled with this dynamic that has played out for you. Not for everyone, but I see with the Queen of Swords, you are a powerhouse. You are a thought leader. So when the Queen of Swords shows up, this is about mentally getting your life back on track here and making powerful decisions that put you in a place of healing, put you in a place of harmony, and put you in a space of, creating healthful choices. I am getting choices coming through for you. And it may have to do because you have this new beginning coming in. The Fool is the gift. So what's waiting on the other side of the shift? Once you decide to jump, there's no stopping you. It reminds me of skydiving. I've been skydiving twice in my life. I love it. I love that rush, but I'm an air sign, so I love the feeling of flying. And once you jump, there's no returning. You can't go back up into that, right? So what do is you enjoy the view. You enjoy, the energy. You enjoy the emotions that come up, because there's going to be fear. There's going to be excitement. There's going to be magic. There's going to be so many emotions that you are being called to feel with that empath energy. And I see here that the gift here is the jump, because you may not know where you're going to land, right? You may not know where you're going to land, but you're protected. You have that parachute. You have that energy of support and guidance. And I see with the Fool, Spirit is saying here, think outside the box, be spontaneous. It's time to jump. You're not tethered to the past pain. That airplane, you're no longer in it. You're no longer confined in that space. And I see here that many of you have sat there for quite some time wondering, is it time? Is it time? And maybe that's the choice. Maybe that's the wayfaring, the going back and forth here. But your guides want you to know that it is your time to shine. It is your time to step into the glory here, step into this victory, whatever this may be for you. And it's time to take that leap of faith, because the gift here is a new beginning. It is the soul self, you tapping into that whole piece of the soul, right? It is you being curious here about life, And for some of you, you are travelers. You are nomads in some way where your gypsy soul is activated, and you may be discovering parts of yourself, as I've mentioned in the beginning of your reading, where you may want to step into new cultures, new lands, and change up your living environment, change up your circumstances in some way. And the outcome here is the Four of Cups. So this is a new opportunity beckoning, right? Four of Cups is a turning point here where some of you may have been focused again on the past, which, yes, we focus on the past. Oftentimes we make our choices and our beliefs and our actions come from what we've been through. But I see here that you're washing your hands of something. You're starting to look to the future. That Queen of Swords has her eye on the prize here, and you're moving beyond challenges. You're focusing on your desires. You're not focusing here on the loss. You're not focusing on perhaps the failures. Okay, you're not focusing on the alienation of something or someone. I see here with this Four of Cups, this is a turning point where you're starting to feel like, wow, there is emotional support here, or there is new inspiration that's coming in. And it could be that you're reaching out in some way. You're reaching out and asking for support, asking for help. There's resources available here for you. Let's get a final message from your higher self. You have the Mirror. And remember, the Mirror is the Three of Swords. Everyone is a reflection of what you believe about yourself. What you see in another is also within you. This is a call to deepen the connection within. Now, that doesn't mean that if you see someone's monster traits that you are a monster. Remember earlier I mentioned that you are an empath. You may be highly sensitive. And sometimes there's the Emperor, right? I mentioned that earlier. I was getting Emperor in reverse. So some of you, you're able to see something through another because it's reminding you of your own self-worth. It's reminding you that you can be a healer without taking on other people's stuff, that you have the ability to learn, to grow, to evolve, and to shift your circumstance. You are not defined by your past. You are defined by what you choose to do and who you choose to become in this moment. The present is the gift, and you have this beautiful new journey that is unfolding here for you. So don't let the past come in and haunt you. Virgo, that is what I have, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed the reading, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like a personal reading or to sign up for the monthly newsletter, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video or by visiting intuitivesoulcoach.com.